Hey guys, how's it going? Kripp here. So today I want to talk about a pretty cool card. I have talked a little bit about it before and it has been the topic of a lot of discussions in the past, and it is the Fel Reaver. Now the reason I want to talk about this card today is because we've kind of set ourselves up in the meta right now to where people are running very consistent decks, very streamlined stuff, and you get a really real opinion of what's going on. Now Fel Reaver, I believe, is the card that Reina thought it was the most overpowered card released in GVG, days after the expansion, and it was seeing some play then, and it still is seeing some play now, though when it comes to the higher ranks, people are basically copying everyone's decks, and this is not among those decks copied. And the reason is it's just not particularly aggressive enough. It's actually pretty easy to deal with an 8/8 or just stall with it with an Annoyatron or something like that. And when it comes to the discard feature, it's not too big of a deal. But in the streamlined type of decks, because losing cards out of your deck can often ruin them, this card is basically only playable in decks that are absolutely mindless and, well, Zoo. You got to play this card in Zoo. So it's pretty good in that, but what is not good about it is that because Doctor Boom is such an overpowered card in Constructed right now, and everybody and every deck is running it, except the Zoo decks, you can't really play this card because everyone is playing Big Game Hunter to counter the Dr. Booms. So when you play this card, it will just get big gamed after you discard a bunch of cards in your deck, making it so you certainly lose a few turns into the game if you don't rush your opponent down with your remaining cards, but because you lost that turn, you probably lost the board, you're probably going to lose the game. So that's why it kind of sucks. It kind of got mated out a little bit, and if you're playing Zoo, if you're playing shit like this, you might as well play stuff like Doomguard, basically. But when it comes to Arena, it's really pretty good. When it comes to Arena, often you can go face because often if you draft very aggressively, it's very hard for your opponent to come back in the game. And it's not like your opponent can Big Game Hunter your 8/8 every single game. It's also kind of a little bit more complicated because in Arena a lot of people pick hard removal, but because with hard removal it often takes a full turn to get rid of it, often you're actually going to get a lot of value because it's going to essentially, if you're already winning, you play something for 5, they play something for 5, you're still winning by a lot in that case. So that's kind of why it's good. Now, in Arena, some games tend to last a little bit longer, and the discard feature does seem to be like a pretty big drawback. But, when I talked about this card in the past, I compared it to Doomguard and the fact that Doomguard discards 2 draws from your hand that you could play immediately. But Fel Reaver, it doesn't trigger fatigue. Yes, if it discards all the cards in your deck, you will essentially go to fatigue when you have to draw a card, but the ability, whenever your opponent plays a card, you don't discard cards you don't have, so you don't take ridiculous fatigue damage with this card. And if you only have a few cards in your deck, yeah, you might go immediately to fatigue. When you have like 5 cards, let's say, you won't draw those 5 cards, but if you think about it compared to Doomguard, it's essentially the 2 next draws that you wouldn't get anyway that you'd have to discard playing Doomguard. So it's kind of like the same mechanic. It's not really that big of a deal to really lose all these cards if you can win. And if you are playing an aggressive deck, if you know what you're doing, often this card, at least in Arena, will lead to that. As far as Constructed, a lot has to change in the meta. A lot of legendaries have to get some nerf bats for this card to really make it back in, but I still feel it's pretty close. In Constructed, you can kind of build your deck to have combos and that kind of stuff, and with Fel Reaver, the ability is silenceable, or you can go super YOLO all in, and while I haven't seen this type of stuff, it's theoretically possible. So who knows, maybe we'll see the return of Fel Reaver in the high ranks of Constructed, but for now, don't count this card out for Arena. I have seen a lot of players, when I've played this card, play really, really greedy to try to get as many discards as possible, and in turn, they just basically lose the game because instead of hard removing it right away, which is often a pretty good result for this card, yeah, they just waste their time, take too much damage, and you get some freebies. And as an example, I'm going to show you guys a couple pretty wicked games where I used this card in Arena just earlier today, and you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to some crazy, crazy, crazy games. So hope you guys enjoy those. Hope you guys try this card in Arena, and well, Remember to draft all the other aggressive cards with it too. I mentioned that a few times now. Don't play this card in a slow deck. Enjoy.
It's the only swipe I have, so I'm not too happy about it. That is really, really, really bad hand. This card is like, I think, the worst against the Shaman, and it's already terrible. The reason is Shaman is situational class, and if you get appropriate answers, you just win. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead here and kill a healing totem, because that's about all I can do. And we're probably gonna see a coin to a Yeti or something that's gonna make me very unhappy. Mildred? No, not exactly. Okay, ghoul. Ghoul, huh? Okay. I guess I'll save the claw. I think the bluegill is better than the claw in this deck because I have Power of the Wild and Cult Master, but the claw is better next turn. And yeah, that kind of shit's gonna happen. So. Oh my god. Alright, fuck it, dude. Fuck it. Let's just go for it. He's got the coin too. Like, I'm gonna lose a large portion of my deck here. Okay. That seemed pretty wasteful. Alright. Oh no, my swipe! I just don't get a taunt totem and we're good. Oh god, there's the coin. Oh, there goes another wad of cards.
Don't mess.
My deck. No. Alright. Well, let's see now. Basically, I can't really do much. So we're gonna play Salty Dog, go face, and claw that piece of crap. Okay. Yeah. So all we gotta do now is dodge a flame.
It's time for a little
Okay. There's the Trog. And I'm gonna draw all three of those cards, so. Okay. Mill Druid, yeah. It's a mill deck, guys. Alright. The Oracle was value this time. Earth Shock. Seems bad. I don't really understand why you did that, especially before toteming. Okay. Violet Teacher. Alright. Don't you top deck Hex. Or Lightning Storm.
Handle it. Well played. You win.
Winner! Come on, guys. Who expected to win that game? God. Oh, man. That is some YOLO shit, guys. Oh, awesome. This is one of those times where the worst card in your deck is in your opening hand, so you can just send it back in your deck and you can't mulligan into it. Unfortunately, I drew probably the second worst card in the deck. Alright, well we got the Murlocs covered. We got all of those guys except the Cold Light, which we technically did kind of get. Alright, go with that Murloc. Alright. I think we're gonna go for a slowish play here. Not that slow. I think this is the play. Because the 4/4 is just too big. Like if he pings the 3/1, the 2/1 doesn't really do enough against it. Murloc mirror. Dude, my Murloc's on roids, bro. Okay. Oh, hello. Okay, you have to keep in mind, like, he's still got the coin. So we have to deal with that before we play the Fel Reaver. Cannon. There's the coin. Imp Master. Is that some sort of joke? Joke Master? Okay. Oh, damn. Alright, I'll go for it.
I must safeguard the land. Drink with me, friend.
Okay. He flame strikes, he has to lose the 5/5. We're just gonna sack the board into it. I'm okay with that. What? Oh, flame cannon. Okay.
guess that's okay.
I'm not ready.
Interesting. Hmm. So I can get him pretty low, but then I get pretty fucked up by Flame Strike.
Time waits for no one. My shield put on it.
I'm gonna go for it.
For the wild.
I'm not dead to just we can't Pyroblast, but I'm not dead to just Flame Strike, for instance. Fireball, Fireball. I think I'm okay against that. I had the Hero Power. That's the only way I could lethal him next turn. Right now he needs to top deck a taunt, and he does. Okay, I lose to a lot of stuff here. I think the best play I have
I must safeguard.
is to silence that, return that, and here a Power Face. And I lose the Fireball. Right? Yeah, I lose the Fireball, I lose the Pyroblast. I don't have the mana to lethal him. It's 12 mana lethal. He top decked the taunt last turn. If he had a heal, it was probably better. Especially because he probably could heal and taunt. So, most likely he doesn't have a heal. I should win unless he top decks or he's holding Fireball or Pyroblast. I don't think he's holding Fireball, but he might be holding Pyroblast. There's Flame Strike. Oh man! YOLO Reaver for the win again. I can't believe this deck is at 7 wins.